about Lomachenko's new deal, because we were reporting, I want to say, maybe a week ago, and especially I want to say even reported yesterday with the Eddie Hearn mention of sending an offer to Lomachenko for the Devin Haney fight, right? Bringing Lomachenko to DAZN. And I've talked about it at length that I thought Lomachenko could be one of the names that Eddie Hearn and DAZN could grab, because I've always heard that his contract is up. But Lance Pugmire did report in this same chat that, there it is, right here. And I think it was actually via Potential Lunatic's his question again. Shout out to Lunatic, always asking the good questions to the reporters. Do you have any idea how many fights are left on Lomachenko's top-ranked deal? Pugmire responds, Lomachenko just signed a new deal with Top Rank this year and has about 4 years remaining on that contract. Ugh. Big fights coming up for all 4 belts early next year against the Teofimo Lopez Richicome winner on December 14th. So, yeah, guys, it's pretty much clear as day that the pipe dream that some had, and I just thought maybe it was just a logical pipe dream. I thought Showtime's deal was up, which it was, but he signed a new deal with Top Rank instead. So, yes, the door is closed on a Lomachenko DAZN move, a Lomachenko PBC move, anything of that sort, though the PBC move was never talked about or I think even possible. But Eddie Hearn obviously mentioned sort of courting Lomachenko at some times, and on top of that, Bob Arum came out and I want to say it was in a Fight Hype interview sometime during this fight week, said that he would get the other promoters around together to sue Eddie Hearn. I forget what law he would sue Eddie Hearn based on, or what sort of statute, but it was just hilarious. And I'm not surprised. I think a lot of people are in this sort of arms race at this point with all of this network money that is at these promoters' hands that they can just throw out to all these fighters. So I'm not shocked in that at all that we get more beef between Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn. It's so good. Can we just all admit here that Bob Arum will always be one of like my favorite people to my favorite people to hear in an interview, because he just rambles and it's hilarious. Rubisky saying, Matt, do you know how much Loma got for his fight versus Campbell? Not off the top of my head. I think it was rumored around $3.5 million. I want to say his base was like 1.5. I think it's guaranteed. But I don't think the UK Commission reports, I don't think UCAD or British Box Sport Control really reports guarantees like that, like some states do, right? Moving on, though, per Jake Donovan over at Boxing Scene, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano at MSG Theater is targeted by Eddie Hearn and Lou DiBella, so that is a great sign that this fight is a real possibility in the near future. And let's just hope and pray to God that there's no more issues when it comes to this fight, because obviously this fight was supposed to happen and it didn't. We got the Heather Hardy fight instead, and I'm not going to get into that saga because just of the inside information I know about the Serrano camp, I just can't. I'm a self-snitch on myself because it's just too funny. However, I believe this fight should go on as planned this time, hopefully speaking. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano is a fantastic fight. I think there's a clear favorite here. However, it's a clear fun fight. It's a clear top-level fight. Probably the number 2 and 3 pound for pound, maybe at least 2 of the top 5 pound for pound women's boxers on the planet right now fighting in this fight. You can't hate that. Obviously, there is a huge maybe weight discrepancy. Katie Taylor is naturally a lightweight. Amanda Serrano is now in technically her 7th, weight class, and she's a featherweight. So, and she's a natural featherweight in my opinion as well. So that will be a obvious factor in this fight that makes me think, again, there's a clear favorite. However, gigantic fight. Alex Alberto G asking a great question, by the way. I like this question. Which is a bigger fight? I'm assuming you don't mean the winner up. I'm assuming you just mean these two fights. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. Which is a bigger fight? Winner of Taylor Serrano or Clarissa Shields versus Brackus? Well, it depends on the parameters on what we're talking about here. Like if we're talking about in the UK, obviously a Katie Taylor Cecilia Brackus fight at 147 would be massive. However, I don't think it would be its own main event because I'll be honest, has Katie Taylor truly main evented a Saturday night primetime card? I think she's main evented like a Wednesday card and like a Friday night next gen card. But I don't think she's ever main evented a Saturday night primetime card. Shields has in America. And while she hasn't done, blockbuster numbers on Showtime, she still does decent numbers on Showtime. Still pretty respectable, to be honest. And especially if you put in hindsight to, let's say, the Ronda Rousey build-up on Showtime, comparable numbers, 100%. So Shields brackets in the U.S. probably is bigger than Katie Taylor versus Brackus in the UK in terms of maybe pure eyeballs on it. But maybe the atmosphere for Taylor Brackus is better than Shields Brackus. But man, I'll be honest, in terms of what I'd rather see, I like Shields Brackus and I like Taylor Serrano. I think those are separate paths right now in my mind. Will I be okay with maybe the winners facing each other in some catch weight? Possibly, sure. This is women's boxing, so they're going to have to get creative here to get fun and creative fights. They have to. But I'll be honest. I think Taylor post Serrano will probably be in sort of like, not a rebuild mode. That's probably the wrong term because she's not going to lose, but she's going to take a couple tune-ups. Because she's going to be in some tough fights. So there's still the Devon Pursoon rematch possibility. Amanda Serrano, those are tough fights for her. And you have a Michaela Mayer in the same weight class being built up by Top Rank simultaneously. I think that is who Katie Taylor will set her eyes on next. Maybe not Brackus. I think Shields would be looking at Brackus more so. I know that was a real roundabout way of answering your question, but I hope they answer your question a little bit there, Alex. But I like the question. MC Treasure. What up, MC Treasure? Always good to hear from you. Saying Shields Brackus is a bit strange to me. Shields was at 168 not long ago. Isn't Cecilia at 147? Yes. But then again, Katie Taylor's at 135. Brackus is at 147. So, there's still... like, all these big fights that we're, theorizing here in women's boxing are gigantic weight jumps for someone. They just are at this point in time. Like, the divisions aren't deep enough. They're not being built up properly enough in terms of the entire divisions. So, at this point in time, these are the big fights, and they're going to be gigantic weight jumps. A la Serrano to Taylor, because that's a 2-weight class jump. Taylor to Brackus, 2-weight class jump. I think... Shields is fighting at 154 right now, so that's going to be a 1-weight class jump to go down to 147. But I don't think she's talking about that. I think she's talking about having Brackus move up to 147, to be quite honest. But digressing from that, moving on. Again, call in 323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue. International callers call in on Skype, Mixed Combat Radio. I'm going to be recording a podcast later tonight with a good friend of the show, Anthony Walker from Sheridan.com. on his own YouTube channel, Walkout Network. You can find that YouTube channel on our YouTube channel on the featured channel playlist or section, I should say, on our homepage. And also, I will link the show in our MMA playlist on our YouTube page as well when it comes out tomorrow. And it premieres, I believe, at 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 p.m. Pacific. We're recording it tonight. So if you guys want some MMA content tomorrow, just so you guys know.